Are you one of those students aiming for band 7 or higher, but still using vague verbs like do, make, or have in your writing and speaking? If yes, this video is for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to IELTS Clinic. It's me, Ali, back again with another practical English lesson. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the easiest ways to improve your IELTS score, replacing vague verbs with strong action verbs. You'll learn what vague verbs are, why they can lower your score, and how to replace them with powerful academic verbs that impress the examiner. We'll go through real IELTS examples together, sentence by sentence, and show you how a small change in vocabulary can make a big difference in both writing and speaking. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to avoid common verbs like do, make, and have, and replace them with high-band verbs like conduct, implement, and experience. So, if you're aiming for band 7, 8, or even 9, and you want to sound clear, natural, and academic, you're in the right place. Let's get started. And of course, Anna is here to help you practice with real IELTS examples. Hey Anna, do you want to say hello to the students watching this video?
Hi Ali. Hi everyone. I always use verbs like do, make, and have. Are they not good enough?
That's a great question, Anna. These are okay for everyday English, but in IELTS Writing Task 2 and Speaking Part 2 or 3, we need to sound more academic, natural, and precise. Let's go through some common vague verbs and see how we can upgrade them. Alright, the first word we're discussing today is do. It's one of the most common and most overused verbs in IELTS writing.
I always say things like do research. Is that a problem?
It's not exactly wrong, Anne, but it's too basic. In IELTS, using basic verbs like do can make your writing sound less academic and less precise. That lowers your score.
So what should I use instead?
A much stronger verb is conduct. So instead of saying do research, you should say conduct research.
Oh, like many students conduct research online?
Exactly, that already sounds better. But let's make it even stronger by adding a clear purpose. For example, many students conduct research online to support their arguments.
Wow, that does sound more formal and complete.
Yes, using strong action verbs like conduct instead of vague ones like do shows the examiner that you can use academic vocabulary, and that helps boost your writing and speaking score. Alright, the next word we're talking about is make. It's another super common verb that students use all the time in IELTS.
Yeah, I always write things like make changes or make improvements. Is that not good?
It's not incorrect, but make is too vague. It doesn't show that you can use precise or academic vocabulary. That's important for getting a higher band score.
So what should I say instead?
You can use implement for formal situations. So, instead of make changes, say implement changes.
So for example, the government should implement changes?
Almost. Let's make it even stronger by giving a clear reason. Here's a better version. The government should implement changes to improve public safety.
Oh, wow. That sounds much more professional.
Exactly. Strong verbs like implement, create, or generate make your writing sound more academic and advanced. That's what the examiner is looking for in both writing and speaking. Let's move on to the next one. Have. It's another vague verb that shows up in so many IELTS essays.
Really? I use have all the time. Like, people have problems finding a job.
I know everyone uses it, but the word have is very basic. It doesn't give the examiner much detail or show a strong vocabulary range.
So what's a better option?
Try using experience instead of have. It's much more academic and precise. So instead of saying people have problems, say people experience difficulties when searching for employment.
Oh, that sounds more formal and detailed.
Exactly. You can also use words like include or suffer from, depending on the sentence. These choices make your ideas clearer and more impressive, and that helps increase your IELTS score. Alright, now let's talk about another overused verb, give.
I use that one too. Like, schools give education to children.
That's super common. Give is too simple and vague. In IELTS, writing and speaking, we want to sound more academic and professional.
So what can I say instead?
Try using provide. It's a much stronger and more formal word. For example, schools provide quality education to young learners.
That sounds so much better, more serious and formal.
Exactly. You can also use offer or deliver depending on the context. These verbs show the examiner you know how to express ideas precisely, and that can help boost your score. Now, let's move on to the next one, get.
I use get all the time. Like, students can get good grades by studying hard.
Yes, get is very common, but it's also too vague. In IELTS, you want to show a more specific and academic way of expressing your ideas.
So what should I use instead?
And you can use achieve. For example, students can achieve high scores through consistent effort.
Oh, that sounds much stronger. It really shows the effort and success involved.
Exactly. Achieve makes it clear that there's a specific goal and action. You could also use obtain or acquire, depending on the context. Using these verbs helps you sound more precise and academic which is great for your IELTS score. Let's take a look at put.
I use put a lot, like in people should put effort into their goals.
The verb put is simple, but it's not very specific or academic. You want to use a more precise verb to make your writing sound stronger.
What could I say instead?
You can say invest or apply. For example, people should invest effort into reaching their goals.
That sounds much more intentional. What about apply?
Good question, Anna. You could say something like, people should apply effort toward achieving their goals.
I like invest. It really shows that you're putting something valuable into the process.
Exactly. Using invest or apply sounds more formal and academic. It shows that you're making a thoughtful, deliberate effort, which can improve your IELTS score. Next, let's talk about take.
I often use take, like in the city should take steps to reduce traffic.
The verb take is very general, and in academic writing, it's better to be more specific.
What's a better choice then?
You can say adopt or undertake. For example, the city should adopt measures to reduce traffic congestion.
Adopt makes it sound like the city is choosing to take action on purpose.
Exactly. You could also say, the city should undertake strategies to reduce traffic congestion.
That sounds even more serious and focused.
That's right. Using verbs like adopt or undertake shows a deliberate effort, and it sounds much more academic, which will help your score in writing and speaking. Now, let's discuss show.
Ali, I often say, the chart shows the increase in obesity. Is that okay?
It's not wrong, but it's a bit vague. In academic writing, it's better to use a more precise verb to describe what's happening in the chart.
What should I say instead?
You can use illustrate or demonstrate. For example, the chart illustrates a significant rise in obesity rates.
Oh, illustrates makes it sound more like the chart is explaining the increase.
Exactly. Another good option is the chart demonstrates the trend of rising obesity rates.
Ali, that sounds even more formal.
Yes, Anne, verbs like illustrate and demonstrate are much stronger and help convey the idea more clearly, showing that you can use advanced academic vocabulary. This will definitely help you score higher in both writing and speaking. Now let's talk about help.
I often say teachers help students to improve. Is that okay, Ali?
It's not wrong, Anne, but it's a bit basic. In academic writing, you want to use stronger verbs to make your ideas sound more professional.
So what should I say instead?
You can use assist or facilitate. For example, teachers assist students in improving their academic skills.
Oh, assist sounds much more formal and academic.
Exactly. Another option could be teachers facilitate student development through targeted support.
That's even better, Ali. It sounds more sophisticated.
Yes, using words like assist and facilitate shows that you can use precise and academic language, which will help you score higher in both writing and speaking. Next, let's look at say.
I often use say, like, some people say that fast food is unhealthy. Is that a problem?
It's not technically wrong, but say is a very general and vague verb. In academic writing, you want to sound more precise and formal.
So what can I say instead?
You can use stronger verbs like state, argue, or claim. For example, some people argue that fast food contributes to poor health.
Ah, argue makes it sound more convincing and serious.
Exactly. Or you could say, some people claim that fast food is a major factor in the rise of obesity.
That sounds much better, Ali. It's more formal and academic.
Yes, using verbs like argue and claim shows that you are making a clear point and supporting it with stronger language, which will definitely help your score. Let's talk about change.
I often use change in my essays, like, technology has changed education. Is that okay, Ali?
It's fine, but change is a very simple verb. In academic writing, it's important to use more specific and powerful verbs to make your writing sound more formal and precise.
So, what should I do instead?
A much stronger verb is transform or modify. For example, technology has transformed the way education is delivered.
Oh, transform makes it sound like a bigger, more significant change.
Exactly. Transform is a great choice when you want to emphasize a major or radical change. You could also say, technology has modified traditional teaching methods to suit online learning.
That sounds way better. It gives a clearer idea of the impact.
Yes, using verbs like transform and modify instead of change makes your writing more sophisticated and academic. It shows that you can express ideas with greater precision, which can boost your IELTS score. Next up, let's talk about cause.
I often say pollution causes health problems. Is that okay, Ali?
Well, cause is a very common verb, but it's not always the best choice in academic writing. It's a bit too vague and doesn't add much detail to your point.
So what should I use instead?
You can use lead to or trigger for a more precise and impactful statement. For example, pollution leads to severe health issues.
Oh, so lead to sounds stronger and shows the consequence more clearly.
Exactly. And if you want to show that something started a problem, you can use trigger. For example, air pollution can trigger respiratory diseases.
That sounds much more specific and serious.
Right? Using led to and trigger instead of cause gives your writing a more academic tone and shows you can express relationships between ideas more clearly. This helps you get a higher score. Now let's look at the verb think.
Ali, I often say things like, many people think that exams are stressful. Is that a problem?
Well, think is a common verb, but it's quite basic and doesn't add much to your argument. In academic writing, it's better to be more precise.
So what can I say instead?
You can use believe, consider, or argue depending on the context. For example, many people believe that exams place unnecessary pressure on students.
That sounds more formal. What about consider?
Yes, consider works well when you're talking about an idea that is being thought about or debated. For example, many experts consider exams to be a major source of stress for students.
And argue?
Argue is great when you want to present an opposing point of view or a stronger claim. For example, some researchers argue that exams are essential for academic growth.
I see. So using believe, consider, or argue instead of think sounds more precise and academic.
Exactly. It shows the examiner that you can express different perspectives and use more advanced vocabulary. This helps boost your score in writing and speaking. Now, let's move on to the next pair. Go up and go down.
Ali, I use those phrases a lot. For example, prices go up quickly. Is that okay?
It's not wrong, but go up and go down are very basic and not very precise. In IELTS, we want to use more specific and formal verbs.
So what can I say instead?
For go up, a stronger verb would be rise or surge. And for go down, you can use fall or decline. Let's look at an example for each. Prices rise quickly during times of economic instability. Prices surged during the economic crisis.
Oh, that sounds much stronger and more academic. What about fall and decline?
Exactly. Let's say prices fall sharply during economic downturns. Or you could use decline for a more gradual decrease, like the value of the currency declined over the past year.
These verbs really add more meaning and precision to the sentence. It's not just about things going up or down. It shows how they're moving and why.
Yes, exactly. By using verbs like rise, fall, decline, or surge, you sound more precise and academic. This will definitely help you score higher in both writing and speaking. Now, let's look at deal with versus some stronger verbs. Address, resolve, and tackle.
Ali, I often say things like, governments must deal with unemployment. Is that a problem?
It's not wrong, but deal with is too vague and informal for IELTS. It doesn't sound very academic or specific, which can lower your score.
So what's a better choice?
You could use address, resolve, or tackle, depending on the context. These verbs make your writing sound more formal and show a deeper level of understanding. For example, instead of saying deal with unemployment, try governments must address the issue of unemployment. Governments must resolve the problem of unemployment. Governments must tackle the issue of unemployment effectively.
Those examples sound much stronger. What's the difference between address, resolve, and tackle?
Great question, Anne. Address is more about giving attention to or acknowledging an issue. Resolve suggests finding a solution and bringing the issue to an end. Tackle implies taking direct and proactive action to overcome the problem.
So, it's not just about handling the problem, it's about how we act to fix or manage it, right?
Exactly. Using these stronger verbs shows that you can express more complex ideas. It makes your writing sound more precise and academic, which will help you get a higher score. Alright, next up is look at versus examine or analyze.
I often use look at in my writing. For example, this essay will look at the causes of crime. Is that okay?
Well, look at is too simple and informal for IELTS. It's a common phrase, but it doesn't show much depth or precision.
Oh, I see. So what should I use instead?
A much stronger option would be examine or analyze. These verbs are more formal and show that you're engaging with the topic in a deeper, more detailed way. So instead of saying, look at the causes of crime, you could say, this essay will examine the causes of crime. This essay will analyze the root causes of crime.
That sounds a lot more formal and academic.
Exactly. When you use examine or analyze, it shows the examiner that you're not just glancing at the topic, you're exploring it in depth and critically. This makes your writing sound more advanced and will help you achieve a higher score. Now, let's move on to find out versus discover or identify.
Ali, I usually say things like find out when I'm talking about research. For example, researchers found out new results. Is that all right?
And find out is a very basic verb and it sounds a bit informal. For academic writing, it's okay in casual conversation. But in IELTS, you want to use stronger verbs that reflect a more formal academic tone.
So what should I say instead?
You could use discover or identify. Both are much stronger choices and show a more precise academic way of expressing the same idea. For example, researchers discovered new insights about climate change. Researchers identified key patterns in the data.
Wow, that sounds much more professional.
Exactly. Using discover or identify shows that you're engaging with the information on a deeper level. It demonstrates critical thinking and can help boost your IELTS score. Next, let's talk about versus discuss, examine, or explore.
I often write things like, this essay will talk about the impact of technology on education. Is that okay?
Talk about is too casual for academic writing. In IELTS, you want to use more formal, precise verbs that show depth of analysis. Instead of talk about, try using discuss, examine, or explore.
So, what's a better way to phrase my example?
Here's how you can make it sound stronger. This essay will discuss the impact of technology on education. This essay will examine how technology influences education. This essay will explore the role of technology in shaping education.
Oh, I see. These sound much more formal and academic.
Exactly. Using verbs like discuss, examine, or explore shows that you're thinking critically and engaging with the topic in an academic way. This type of language will help you score higher in both writing and speaking. That's the power of action verbs. They make your writing clearer, your speaking more natural, and your language more impressive to the examiner. If you're aiming for band 7.5, 8.5, or even 9, this is the kind of vocabulary that will help you stand out from the crowd. If you want more lessons like this, write your ideas or questions in the comments, and I'll make more videos to teach you the exact types of verbs that can help you reach your target score. All right, great job today, everyone. Make sure to review today's lesson carefully and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a tip that could boost your score. Practice with heart, believe in yourself, and never stop learning. And remember, success comes step by step. I'm here to guide you, and I'll see you in the next session.
Thank you, teacher. I'll go back to my essays and speaking notes and upgrade all my vague verbs. Oh, and I already subscribed and clicked the bell.
IELTS Clinic. Simple lessons, real results.
So if we learn how to write one paragraph, it will be easier to write the whole essay.
So it would be 7 plus 4 plus 4 equals 15. Then they divide it by 3. The introduction is like a map for your essay. So thus, therefore, as a result,